a dark, unsolved true crime story brought to you by CrimeBot Chronicles. This is a case of a violinist called Camila Rivera who went missing. True crime isn't just about what happened. It's about what we can still learn from it. Let's expose the darkness together. To encourage our good work of digging into crime cases, please subscribe to our channel, CrimeBot Chronicles. Let's begin by taking a dive into the unsolved case of the missing violinist. They say music speaks what words can't. For Camila Rivera, her violin was her voice, her escape, her identity. She was a prodigy, only 24 but already a rising star in the classical music world. Born and raised in Austin, Texas, Camila played with a kind of fire that made even the coldest hearts melt. She wasn't just talented, she was captivating. And then, just like a ghost note in a silent hall, she vanished without a trace. It was September 14, 2022. The night was humid, sticky with that thick southern air. Camila had just wrapped up her solo at the Paramount Theater. Standing ovation, flowers tossed to the stage, people crying like they just heard angels play. She bowed, smiled that humble smile of hers, and slipped backstage. She was supposed to meet her best friend, Olivia, and her boyfriend, Marcus, for drinks afterward. But she never showed. No text, no call, nothing. At first, everyone thought she'd just gone off on her own. Camila was known to be a little mysterious. She'd disappear for a few hours to clear her head or work on music. But this was different. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her apartment? Empty. Her car? Still in the parking lot. The violin, her prized 18th century Italian beauty worth almost $500,000, was gone. When the cops got involved, they acted like it was just a case of a young woman needing space. But Olivia knew something was off. Camila's not like that, she said, eyes bloodshot from crying. She wouldn't just ghost. Not on me. Not with a big concert next week. Not with Marcus waiting. Now here's where it gets strange. Surveillance footage showed Camila leaving the back entrance of the theater around 10:47 p.m. She had her violin case in hand and looked calm. No signs of panic. No one trailing her, at least not visibly. But about 2 blocks down, a security camera caught her looking over her shoulder. Nervous. Uneasy. That footage was the last confirmed sighting of her. And then came the voicemail. Around 2 a.m., Olivia got a message from a blocked number. It was muffled, static-filled, and barely audible. But Camila's voice was in there. "It's not what you think," she whispered. "I didn't mean for this to happen. Don't trust him." Then a loud thud. Then silence. The message sent chills down Olivia's spine. She played it for the cops, but they dismissed it. Said it could have been staged, part of some publicity stunt. That's when Olivia went to the media. She posted the voicemail, pictures of Camila, and begged for help. The post went viral. True crime forums exploded. #FindCamila started trending. People started digging. And what they found was messy. Turns out, Camila and Marcus weren't the picture-perfect couple everyone thought. They'd been fighting. A lot. Neighbors reported shouting matches, things breaking, late-night arguments that could be heard through the walls. Olivia admitted Camila was thinking of ending it. She told me Marcus was getting controlling, jealous. She couldn't breathe. Marcus, of course, denied everything. Said he loved her. Claimed they had a small fight the day before the concert but made up. "We were solid," he told reporters. She was stressed about her music. That's all. But Marcus had a record. A sealed juvie file from back in high school. Rumors of a girl he dated who ended up hospitalized after a bad fall. Nothing proven. Nothing stuck. But the shadows were there. Then came another twist. A week after Camila disappeared, her violin case was found. It was floating in Lady Bird Lake, half submerged, the velvet inside soaked. The violin? Gone. No fingerprints. No blood. Just one thing, a torn photo tucked inside. It showed Camila with a man no one recognized. Mid-30s. Dark hair. Intense eyes. Arm around her like they were close. Real close. The photo was old, maybe a year or two. But no one, none of her friends, her family, not even Olivia, had ever seen this guy. Who was he? A former lover? A stalker? A secret mentor? Cops ran facial recognition. Nothing. Guy was a ghost. That's when the fear started creeping in. Was this bigger than just a lover spat? Was Camila caught in something darker? Her mom, Maria Rivera, flew in from Houston. She hadn't spoken to Camila in months. They'd had a falling out. Camila wanted to tour overseas, and Maria begged her to stay. Said it was too dangerous, too lonely. She was my baby, Maria cried during a press conference. We fought, but she knew I loved her. I just want her home. The public started taking sides. Some blamed Marcus. Others pointed fingers at the mystery man. True crime podcasts ran wild with theories: human trafficking, secret affairs, underground music deals gone wrong. Every day brought new rumors. And then Olivia started getting threats. Anonymous texts. Stop digging. You're next. Her tires slashed. Her dog poisoned. The cops brushed it off as coincidence, but Olivia knew better. Someone didn't want her asking questions. She doubled down instead. Started her own investigation. Interviewed Camila's professors, past bandmates, even ex-roommates. And that's when she uncovered something jaw-dropping. Camila had a stalker. Back in college, she filed a restraining order against a guy named Julian Carr, a former violin student who'd become obsessed. Letters, gifts, showing up at her gigs uninvited. It got bad enough that the school suspended him, but he vanished after that. Disappeared from all records. Olivia tracked down a former classmate who remembered Julian. Dude was creepy, they said. Real talented, but dark. Talked about soul bonds and how music tied people together. Said Camila was his twin flame. Twin flame. That phrase showed up again on Camila's old social media posts. Cryptic captions. A drawing she once shared that showed two violins on fire, tangled together with red strings. No one thought much of it at the time. It felt like a warning. Olivia brought it to the police. They finally took it seriously. Reopened the case. Dug into Julian's last known address, a rundown cabin outside of Austin. When they searched it, they found sheet music. Hundreds of pages, all titled Camila's Song. Violins hanging on the walls. Scratched out portraits. And in the corner, a shrine. Photos of Camila. Her jewelry. Ticket stubs from her concerts. A candle still burning. But Julian was gone. Just like Camila. They say obsession can make a man go blind. But Julian Carr wasn't just blind, he was sick. And whatever he had planned for Camila, it was crafted over years. Carefully, quietly, like a symphony of madness slowly building to its final crescendo. After the cops raided Julian's abandoned cabin, all hell broke loose. The media swarmed. Violinist's secret stalker, the headlines screamed. TV anchors speculated he'd kidnapped her, maybe even killed her. But the police had no body, no hard evidence, just vibes and a lot of crazy sheet music. But Olivia couldn't shake it. Camila never talked about him, she kept repeating. Not once. And that's not like her. She told me everything. But maybe Camila hadn't wanted to relive it. Maybe she'd been too afraid. Then came the voicemail analysis. A tech-savvy Reddit user ran the audio through enhancement software. They found something wild. A second voice, barely a whisper under Camila's. So chilling. It said, "She belongs to me." That was the moment things snapped into place. Julian had been there that night. Somewhere nearby. Maybe even waiting for her outside the theater. But how the hell had he found her after all these years? Her schedule wasn't public. She never posted live locations. So someone had to have told him. Someone close. Olivia's mind went straight to Marcus. She confronted him at his apartment. "Did you know Julian?" she barked, shaking with rage. He looked stunned, offended even. "Who the hell is Julian?" he said. "You think I'd help some creep take Camila?" But Marcus was hiding something. Not about Julian. About Camila. 2 weeks before she vanished, she'd gotten a letter. Handwritten. No return address. Camila never said what it was about, but Olivia remembered her reaction. Pale face. Shaking hands. Like she'd seen a ghost. "I need to disappear for a bit," Camila had said, almost joking. "Go off the grid." She never said why. But now it was clear. Julian had found her. And then Olivia got a package. No name. No postage. Just dropped on her doorstep one rainy afternoon. Inside? A flash drive. One single file. A video. The screen was black at first. Then slowly, faint candlelight flickered on. Camila's face appeared. Eyes red. Hands trembling. She looked scared out of her mind. Behind her, that same creepy cabin wall. The violins. The shrine. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "If you're seeing this, it means I haven't made it out. Please tell my mom I love her. Tell Olivia she was my sister. And Marcus," she paused, swallowing hard, "tell him I'm sorry." Then her eyes darted off camera. Footsteps. Her breath hitched. A low voice said, "Time's up." Then the video cut out. Olivia dropped the flash drive like it burned her. She called the cops, sobbing, shaking, screaming. But when they traced the package, it was a dead end. No prints. No camera footage. Whoever sent it knew what they were doing. And just like that, Camila wasn't just missing anymore. She was officially a kidnapping victim. An FBI task force got brought in. Posters plastered every wall from Austin to Houston. Crime podcasts dedicated full seasons to the case. Hashtags exploded. TikTok armchair detectives claimed to see Camila in random background footage from Mexico, Guatemala, even Prague. Nothing panned out. Then came another break, one that made everyone's blood run cold. A woman named Serena Caldwell contacted Olivia. Said she recognized Julian from a photo online. She'd met him at a string instruments expo in Nashville the year before. He went by the name Alex, then said he was a traveling music therapist. Serena remembered him clearly because he wouldn't stop talking about a violinist named Camila. He said they were soulmates, she told Olivia. Said they played together in their dreams. I thought he was just poetic, but now I think he meant it literally. And then Serena dropped a bomb. She said he was with a woman. Pale, quiet, always wearing long sleeves, even in the summer heat. The woman didn't speak much, just followed him around like a shadow. I thought maybe she was on the spectrum, Serena said, or just shy. But the way she looked at me, like she wanted to scream. Serena showed Olivia a photo she snapped at the expo. The man was definitely Julian. And the woman? Same build, same hair. It could have been Camila. The date of the expo? 3 months after Camila disappeared. That image was blurry, grainy, and totally inadmissible in court. But it lit a fire under the FBI. They widened the search, ran composite sketches, interviewed vendors. But Julian, if that was even his real name, was always one step ahead. That's when Olivia made a choice. She went on national TV, sat down with a morning news anchor and aired everything. The voicemail, the flash drive, the stalker, the theory. He has her, she said, staring straight into the camera. He's controlling her, keeping her alive. But not for long. It was a desperate plea, and it worked. A trucker named Gene Holt called in 3 days later. Said he'd picked up a hitchhiker on a back road near Santa Fe. Woman, mid-20s, shaken up, carried a violin case like it was her child. Said her name was Cammy. She begged him not to go to the cops. Told him she just needed a ride to a train station. She paid him in cash, lots of it. Gene only came forward after seeing Olivia on TV. That was her, he swore. I know it. Those eyes. That pain. I never forget faces like that. But if that was Camila, then she had escaped and chose not to come home. But why would she let her mom suffer? Let Olivia fall apart? Let the whole country believe she was dead? Bus. She wasn't free. Maybe she escaped physically, but not mentally. Maybe Julian's grip went deeper. Maybe he made her believe she had no one left. That coming home was more dangerous than staying gone. Or maybe it wasn't Julian at all. Some folks started pushing another theory. That Camila staged the whole thing. That she wanted out of the fame, the pressure, the relationships. that she created this stalker narrative as a smokescreen to vanish and start over. But Olivia wouldn't hear it. She was scared, she said. You could see it in her eyes. That wasn't acting. That was real terror. Still, the theory spread. It divided the internet. Some called her a manipulator. Others called her a survivor. Then another violin case showed up. Abandoned in a Greyhound bus locker in Amarillo. Same brand as Camila's. Inside was a single item, a burned photograph. It was the same picture from before. Camila and the unknown man. Only now, her face had been scratched out. Repeatedly. Aggressively. Like someone wanted her erased. That was the last lead anyone ever got. No more sightings. No more messages. No more hope. Time passed. Seasons changed. The billboards faded. The headlines stopped. And for most people, Camila Rivera became another cold case. Another name whispered in true crime forums, buried in Reddit threads and late-night YouTube rabbit holes. But for Olivia, and for Maria Rivera, she was never just a story. She was family. And family doesn't just vanish into thin air. Maria started her own private search. Blew through her savings. Hired 2 PIs. One vanished without a trace after heading to Mexico City. The other, a grizzled ex-FBI guy named Rourke, lasted 6 months. Then he told her to give it up. Whatever happened to Camila, he said, was planned. Executed. Whoever did this, they covered their tracks too well. But Maria didn't give up. Every night she lit a candle. Left a space for her daughter at the dinner table. Read old texts. Played her music. And prayed. Meanwhile, Olivia changed. The bright, funny best friend turned into someone harder. Edgier. Obsessed. She kept chasing clues long after the rest of the world moved on. One day, she did something wild. She signed up for a string music festival in Colorado, one Julian had attended 5 years ago under a fake name. It was a long shot, but she figured maybe he'd return. Maybe he'd be arrogant enough to think no one remembered him. The first day passed. Nothing. Second day, same. But on day 3, something happened. She was watching a performance. The lights were low. A soloist took the stage. Not the headliner, just someone stepping in for an ill performer. They walked out slowly, wearing a dark hoodie. The moment they pulled the violin from its case, Olivia's heart stopped. It was Camila's violin. Same markings. Same custom chin rest. Olivia would have recognized it in her sleep. The soloist played like a ghost. Every note was flawless, but hollow. Like someone mimicking passion instead of feeling it. And then, halfway through, their hands started to shake. They dropped the bow. Gasps echoed through the crowd. But the player didn't move. Didn't look up. They just froze. Then turned and ran off stage. Olivia chased them. Through the back corridors, down a stairwell, out the side exit. She was screaming Camila's name, tears running down her face, heart pounding out of her chest. But she lost her. Security pulled her aside. Cops were called. The violin was gone. The soloist vanished into the mountain night like a ghost. And no one could confirm who they were. No name on the schedule. No official record they even performed. It was as if they'd never existed. Was it Camila? Olivia swore it was. The shape, the posture, the way she moved. But with no proof, the world chalked it up to another wild theory. Grief does funny things to people, they said. And maybe they were right. Because here's where things get darker. A month later, Marcus, Camila's ex, was found dead in his apartment. Overdose. Pills, whiskey, a note that just said, "She's never coming back." It shattered Olivia. She started to question everything. Did Marcus know more than he let on? Was he covering for someone? Or did he just break under the weight of it all? Then came one final, devastating clue. A postcard arrived at Olivia's apartment. No return address. Just one line on the back. Some songs are better left unfinished. It was signed with a treble clef. That was Camila's symbol. She used to sign her birthday cards with it. Wrote it in the corner of her journals. It was her quiet way of saying, "I'm still here." Olivia clutched that card like a lifeline. She had it framed. Stared at it every night. wondering, hoping, dying for closure. But it never came. To this day, the unsolved case of the missing violinist remains one of the most haunting disappearances in modern history. A young musical genius, a stalker from her past, a string of cryptic clues, a trail of heartbreak, and a chilling silence that followed. People still speculate. Was Julian real? Was he even the main suspect? Did Camila run? Or was she taken? And if she escaped, why hasn't she come home? Maybe she's still out there, playing in some forgotten town, under a new name, trying to reclaim pieces of herself. Or maybe she became the final note in a tragic symphony that will never be finished. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure: Camila Rivera didn't just disappear. She was orchestrated out of existence. Every detail, every misdirection, every twist, like someone wrote a horror concerto, and she was the star. And the scariest part? That person might still be watching, still listening, waiting. So if you ever hear a violin playing on a quiet street corner, stop. Listen close. Because somewhere in the silence, Camila might still be speaking. If you enjoyed this chilling true crime story, don't forget to join the Crimebot Chronicles family. There's plenty more true crime stories, mystery and suspense waiting for you. Stay curious and stay safe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chilling case. Comment your thought. Share this story to keep others aware. Evil often hides behind a smile.